Alright guys, so now that it's January, I get a ton of questions about the strats and settings that I'm using now because, again, the game has changed so much in NHL 19, and it's going to change even more when they revert back to the beta for a few weeks, but I want to go over what I use now, currently, that I'm now finding success with, and some new tips and things that I think will definitely help you guys break that plateau and get to the next level. So today we're going over the January settings and strategies. I'm No Sleeves 12. Need to do the settings real quick, doesn't take very long. For camera, I use zone. It's the best to see all three zones, classic or overhead are the other ones. Everything else, you need to switch to one of those three: zone, classic, overhead, whatever works best for you guys. As far as auto backskating, always turn it off. You need to learn how to use L2 or the left trigger. Auto hitting, that's off. That's a mess. Vibration, I turn it off. It's just more to mess with you, especially if you're in a sweaty. I don't know. I hate vibration. And then pass assist, this is all preference. I use 81. Some people use 94. Some people use 70. It's all over the place. You just need to mess with it to find out what you want. So let's get into the strategies. So something else I want to mention, I adjust my strategies now mid-game more than I ever have, and it depends on the opponent I'm playing. I've found that messing with your strategies in relation to how your opponent's playing throughout the game gives you a much added benefit of A, surprising your opponent mid-game because now things are completely different, or B, if you're not winning, you need to change things up. People that just try the same thing over and over and over again, or that's how you lose 2-1 and get those huge ice tilt games. You're not changing anything. So let's discuss the forecheck. 1-2-2 passive. This is what I use when I start a game because I don't know how good an opponent is. Most of the time I'm matching up against someone very good, so I need to try and make it safe. 1-2-2 passive means that you're not really going to get any forecheck when you lose the puck in the offensive zone. The neutral zone is the 1-4. This is a staple. This doesn't change. The 1-4 is how you are when you're defending the rush. You have 4 guys stacked to the blue line, helps you deny zone entry. Pretty self-explanatory. Trap and forecheck. Full trap when you start a game. You want to be as hard to let into the zone as possible. Denying zone entry is super important, especially in Hockey Ultimate Team currently, as well as Versus. Offensive zone pressure, conservative. This is how they act when you're moving up the ice. If you have it set to full out attack, your opponent, your team can sometimes get your D-men to caught up while you're going up the rush, and they turn the puck over, and that's how you get a breakaway against. Defensive pressure, contain puck. It means that they're going to make sure that your opponent, your D-man, and your players are always in between the puck carrier and the net. They never chase. They're not pushing up against you. The AI is not aggressive enough and doesn't auto-hold along the board, so contain puck makes sense. Tight point means that you're always up against the point. It's how you defend point shots very well. Penalty kill, passive box, means that you're not chasing. You're falling in, and you're making sure you're just kind of collapsing into the zone. Overload on the power play, pretty self-explanatory. Control breakout. If you haven't seen my prior videos on how to use the control breakout, you need to. The strong side slant is the only one you should be using, and it is an extremely easy way to give yourself a breakaway at a zone entry, or just get it out of your zone insanely fast. The power play breakout, single swing. You're never really going to use this because the power play, you're often just on the rush, and it's never you're never in need of some help getting out of your own zone in the breakout. The quick breakout, leave zone early. You need to have this to make sure that you coincides with the strong side slant. It's a very easy way. It means your far side winger will take off, and again, it's an easy slap up the boards to get you on a breakaway. And then 3-on-3, I just have passive because, well, it's all about possession. You're only going to use 3-on-3 offense when it's the online seasons, so you don't have to worry about hut champs or anything like that. Now, if you see my other videos, I'm highly recommending Behind the Net this season. Behind the Net works very well, and in my next video, I'm going to show how to use these strats and settings to your full advantage, but you want to start with the overload because if someone can't defend the short side wrister, the overload is the best way to do that, as well as the far side point shot, and those are the two easiest ways to score. So you need to test your opponent and see if you can actually defend that first before you need to switch to Behind the Net, which is a more advanced way to get a goal, and it requires your opponent to come out of the slot or skill zone. So it all depends on your opponent. As for D pairs, you want to make sure that you're switched all the way to hold the line. pinching and giving up 2-on-1s or odd man rushes is how you get scored on in this game, especially in when players have 99s and things like that. You're just going to get nipped, and a 2-on-1 is the most difficult thing to defend right now in NHL 19, other than a breakaway. I mean, that's a user control goalie. But let's get into what happens if you get down or you're tied and you feel ice tilt coming. Here's what you should do. So when you get down, and it's against a very good opponent, you want to change. First thing you want to do is change your forecheck. You can do this mid-game with the directional pad and things like that. Just mess around with it in-game. You'll see how to do it very quickly. Change your forecheck to a 2-3. That means that 2 players will attack the puck carrier. Make sure your neutral zone stays as the 1-4. Don't mess around with it. Change your trap forecheck all the way to forecheck. Your offensive zone pressure to full attack. And then leave your defensive pressure and defensive strategy the same. There's no reason to mess with these. All you want to change is full attack offensive pressure all the way to forecheck, and then your forecheck to 2-3. The reason for it is now when he thinks that he has time, because throughout the game that you've already played, you've given him time to break out, you're now going to let your AI just hammer him, and it's going to cause a lot more turnovers than you think, because the whole game they've gone thinking that they have time, and now you've switched completely to the opposite end of the spectrum, and you're going to get a lot more turnovers. Now, if you give up breakaways, you got to be careful with the full attack, but an easy way to combat that is to hold R2 and hit down on the right thumbstick, and you will select the furthest player back, and that will at least allow you to defend as your defenseman. So guys, that is what I am currently using, and like I said, I'm going to have some videos that's going to explain why and how to use these settings, but basically the general concept of it is you want to play extremely passive and wait for your chance on the rush when you're playing someone very good, because they're going to control TOA, they're going to be more offensively creative, that's fine, but if you're covering lanes and playing passive and watching for the big mistake, you're going to have some success, and then you just wait for your chance on the rush. Once again, like I said, if you're dominating and you're just using the passive settings, but he's able to break out, because once you lose the puck, you're falling back out of the zone, and you feel some ice tilt going on. You're crushing him at shots, TOA. His goalie's making some nut saves. You need to fight it. You need to switch to full aggressiveness, cause turnovers behind the net, cause turnovers on the breakout. And why I don't recommend doing that off the start is because a lot of players are aggressive at the beginning. And when you're too aggressive and you get down, then he already knows what you're going to do. You're going to be more aggressive, and it's less of catching someone off guard. And it's why I recommend doing it midway through the game and completely going from one end of the spectrum to the other, not kind of inching towards it's one or the other. And again, I'm going to have a video explaining on how to play defense and how to score with it in the next few days, more than likely. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below, what works for you, if you use this strat set, and if it is ended up working for you or it doesn't, let me know. And yeah, guys, so I appreciate all the follows and subscriptions, things like that, and I will see you guys next time.